great film. It didn't make my list, but it is a great one, and has the late Chadwick Boseman as an all-time great baseball player. What are your thoughts on 42?
It was the most riveting, true story about Jackie Robinson, but the way they shot the film about his life, and there's a scene in there where back then the managers used to coach third base, and the guy that coached third base is God, I can't. If you go through the IMDb, and I should have better research on it. He's an English actor that's in an alien show on TV. He's in everything. He was in Death at a Funeral, the English version, but he plays the Philadelphia Phillies manager who managed one season, and he's standing at third base. And every time Jackie Robinson in the movie gets up to the plate, he's shouting the N-word, right? And you see the tension in Jackie Robinson, and he can't shake it off. And finally, in the third game of the series, Reese gets out of the dugout and walks up to the guy and says, "If you continue to use that, I'm going to beat the shit out of you in front of everyone here." And at the end of the film, they said that he was never managed again. But it showed you what Jackie Robinson had to go through. And it shows you what a brilliant man Rickey, who was played by Harrison Ford, by the way, was to take this risk on a guy and bring a guy into the league. And I always think this. Just think at these poor guys. Think at the Satchel Pages and the Josh Gibsons. Could have played Major League Baseball in the 30s and 40s. Think about the records they would have set that they hit. Josh Gibson had 866 home runs. You know, if you took the best players I'm getting off the tangent at 42. If you took the best players in the Negro League and put them on one team, no one beats them. No one beats them. The Yankees wouldn't beat them, the 27 Yankees. That being said, Chadwick Boseman is an American icon as far as an artist. I mean, talk about a guy who was taken way too soon. The fact that he did Black Panther and no one knew that he had pancreatic cancer, you know that story. But playing Jackie Robinson, he said in one of his interviews, was one of the highlights of his career because you get to play someone that broke a barrier in America's pastime. But what this guy had to go through. And just that scene when you watch that manager screaming at him the N-word constantly, I had a hard time. I saw that in the theater. I had a hard time watching it. I squirmed in my seat. I squirm anyways. I'm a jumpy guy. And brilliant film. Brilliant film. Dragon movie guy has to see this film within the next week.
Oh no, I've seen this film. It's a good film. It didn't quite make my list because all the films at the top of my list are kind of more time and place kind of thing. This is a good film, or great film. It is interesting too. Harrison Ford. You talk about actors attracting other actors to be in smaller parts in a film. Christopher Meloni is Leo Durosher. Alan Tudyk is Ben Chapman. Lucas Black is Pee Wee Reese. John C. McGinley, the Dr. Cox from Scrubs. You look all the way up and down this IMDb page. It's players, or it's actors that you've seen before playing players that you've never heard of before. Even T.R. Knight from Grey's Anatomy is playing second or third or fourth billing here. Second billing listed here as Harold Parrott. Talented cast. Nicole Beharie as Rachel Robinson. Yeah, great actors in a great film. It's interesting too. The fact that this happens in 1947 in real life, that Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier in 1947. It just goes to show how long African American baseball players were held down, because very quickly in the early mid-50s, Willie Mays comes along, Hank Aaron comes along, and are able to play their entire careers, or at least the vast majority of their careers, in Major League Baseball, and are at the very top of Major League Baseball's record books as a result of what Jackie Robinson did 5 years earlier. The fact that he paves the way so that, and Jackie Robinson is 26, 27 when he's a rookie, so he has a 10-year Major League career, but not all-time list kind of stats-wise. Very soon after he comes up, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and so many other great Hall of Fame players come along, having full careers based off of the weight that he had on his shoulders. So yeah, what Jackie Robinson had to do. There's a reason why every April 15th is now Jackie Robinson Day, and every franchise has number 42 retired. That is for a reason. That is so people don't forget what all players had to go through. And the film having Chadwick Boseman play Jackie Robinson is, if casting is 90% of everything, the fact that they were able to cast Chadwick Boseman at such a young age to play Jackie Robinson, the fact that the directors were able to see the gravitas and the acting ability that he had. Brian Helgeland, never heard of him before, writer-director of this film. The fact that he was able to see that in Chadwick Boseman to be able to play Jackie Robinson is phenomenal in terms of casting too. So yeah, great film across the board.